Hey, shitheads! Welcome to Cyborg New Gods. I'm your game master, Dale, and I'm gonna be taking you dreckheads, you gutter punks, on a trip through the worst city in the world. And maybe, just maybe, you'll be able to do some good in this shithole. This is a Cyborg actual play podcast using the Cyborg OSR rules, available on DriveThruRPG or from Free League Publishing. Let's get right into it. Hunks, shitheads. You bungled the last job and you think you deserve a vacation. Well, I've got the vacation for you. An all expenses paid trip into Ground Zero. How does that sound? Well, Jonathan certainly seems to like the sound of it, because over the last 2 weeks, he's somehow convinced most of you, Paradigm's still on the fence, that you should go after that cachet in the midst of Ground Zero with nothing to go on other than a treasure map, set of coordinates that were found in the pocket of a Virid Viper aligned security cop. What this rent-a-cop had hidden in Ground Zero, of all places, how they even were able to get in and out, to dump their shit without getting torn to shreds by mutants or melted by radiation. Those are questions that should be floating around in Jonathan's mind, but, well, the rich boy from the hills isn't known for his street smarts. And so, here we are again tonight, once again, in the Rusted Nail. The new rock music blasting throughout the tiny dive bar. The screams around you flooding the establishment with a constant feed of propaganda and ads. And Ivan is currently staring right into Jonathan's face with a look of utter incredulity on his own. Ground Zero? Really? Look, I know you've been going on about it for the last 2 weeks now, and I've been trying to talk you out of it, but, well, is there anything I can do to make you reconsider? I mean, look, not that I personally care if you want to throw your lives away in that irradiated hellscape, but you happen to be my best troubleshooters. And it would be a shame if I had to, He looks over his shoulder and you see some of his other clientele, a group of 5 mohawk sporting, leather-clad punks who are bobbing their heads along to the new base and roughhousing. Well, I'd have to rely on those idiots, wouldn't I?
That's if we don't come back, of course. And there's something you could do to get us to start going there. You could go yourself.
Ah! I'd rather give you the deed to this whole bar right here and now. And
you really think you can't handle it?
Don't be offering Ivan up for sacrifice. This be our mission. And I like Ivan too much to be risking him on this.
Cat Pirate has it the right way.
'Tis a risky path you've chosen, but with great risk comes great reward.
Hey, I'm not arguing there. If this cache exists, and even if it doesn't, everyone knows Ground Zero is full of all sorts of things you can hawk on the black market, but, well, you have to get to it first, and you have to make it back out alive.
And besides, Ivan, it'd be a map. What kind of pirate would I be if I didn't look into a treasure map, eh?
Yeah, you're right there. And I suppose, I have a feeling, he peers at you, Kitty, and even though you can't see it because your tricorn hat covers it up, he's staring almost exactly at where the blue crystalline growths are, right under the brim of your hat. And he frowns and he says, I bet you got something calling you there. And who am I to push against it?
Kitty suddenly becomes way more interested in her grog.
But Paradigm! He turns and looks towards Paradigm, who's looking nervously around, looking like he would do anything to get out of this conversation. He lifts an empty glass up from behind the bar, obviously having just downed it with his navel mouth, and he slams it down on the bar as Ivan leans forwards, crosses his arms, and he says, You've been to Ground Zero, you've seen what's there, and you've come back changed. And these last 2 weeks, whenever Jonathan and Ghost and Kitty have been ranting about what they're gonna find in there, you haven't said a single thing, and I get the impression that you know better than to throw your life away going into that blasted hellscape again.
Oh yeah, not going there again, no. I barely made it out the first time, but even that, when I did, I ended up like this.
Yeah, a very wise decision, I think. Perhaps you...
Yes, for last time you didn't have friends with us looking out for you.
Ivan rolls his eyes. Do you really think Paradigm's previous friends were less capable than a trust fund kitty from the hills?
Oh, I certainly do believe that, actually. Have you seen our track record? Nobody matches up to us.
You've got something there. 2 dangerous jobs in a row. Tangling with the Vipers and with Alienson and coming back in one piece. But it's only been 2 weeks since the last job. The corporate assassins sometimes take months before they find their target, so don't count your chickens before they're hatched, young man.
Actually, speaking of which, if people come knocking, please do let us know before they come knocking on our personal doors.
Well, of course, if they come to me first. Type of people you've got after you. They don't need a middleman like poor old Ivan. They're going to go straight to the source.
That's reassuring.
So, Paradigm. If you don't intend on going to Ground Zero, why are you here tonight? Why are you even entertaining this Muppet with your presence?
What are you calling him?
Oh, don't be insulting Jonathan that way, mate.
Well, he have to
That's
be
a harsh thing to say about a person.
harsh,
I don't know, I think
but
that's
true.
kind of apt.
You say that, Ghost, but you're just as much as a Muppet, because you're going to follow him into Ground Zero
Hey, what the fuck?
on the whim of a piece of paper that you found in someone's pocket.
Ew! Maybe Paradigm just wanted to share one last drink with his comrades before a few of them might not come back and all. That about sizes it up.
Afterward, see if you'd see reason. Ground Zero is not the same as the streets. You're not gonna find a bunch of gangbangers wielding guns.
I know.
Spy freaks and mutants. Radiation. It's a hell of a lot more dangerous than out here.
Oh, spooky.
And that was why I was hoping you'd be coming, to warn us away from some of the stuff you did know about. But, listen, I've said my piece to you, and I won't be saying it again, and I'll not be faulting you for not coming through with this. So, if that's truly your final answer, then Godspeed, and I look forward to working with you if we come out.
When we come out.
If.
I said what I said.
Well, look, I'm not the one going in there, but I am intrigued about this cache, and of course anything you can bring out, and how we can profit from it. I have the channels, and I have advised them that I might have some things worth their time very soon. And I've done some research on those coordinates on your piece of paper, Jonathan, and I'll tell you that it is certainly intriguing. Had some of my contacts step into some satellite feeds, and it is certainly a promising site. A shielded underground area, most likely an old black site. You can get in there, you will definitely find some things worth carrying out.
Jonathan leans over to Paradigm and claps him on the shoulders. See, what did I tell you? We're going into a sure thing. And frankly, I think that all these rumors about how dangerous Ground Zero is totally overblown.
You'll see.
I don't.
You'll see for yourself. But I did get you a present.
Oh, Ivan.
Oh, you shouldn't have.
Oh,
Or maybe you should have.
believe me, I had to, because you're so dead set on this brain dead idea. He reaches under the bar and he produces a stack of what look like spacesuits from the old pulp vids. Silver, shiny, covered in blinking LEDs and strange visors, all folded in a neat pile. Places them down on the bar, and he says, Envirosuits! Radiation still off the charts in Ground Zero. You're gonna need these, or you're liable to melt into a puddle of goo.
Be there a cat-sized one?
Right on the bottom there, I had a child suit procured. Don't ask me why they fit in child size, but it'll work for you.
What a world we live in when we need child-sized radiation suits.
Your world do be kind of a hellhole, but you know.
What, you think children shouldn't be protected from radiation?
No, it's just they shouldn't be exposed to radiation in the first place.
Oh, well, we can't all live in a utopia.
Well, I know...
Children shouldn't be exposed to many things, but there's shows about catching predators, ain't they?
Well, I got 3 children right in front of me that are about to expose themselves to radiation.
Is that really how you see us?
And we got a predator with us, and she looks to Paradigm.
Excuse me?
Yeah, we're looking at
Ouch. I've seen what you do, man. You don't have to be ashamed of it.
Plenty of bats to eat in Ground Zero, I think, says Ivan, smiling.
Ivan, this is an odd ask, but do you have a coin or something?
A coin! He shrugs. A coin! What, you think we're in fucking 1852? A coin, he
Homeboys
says.
over here asking for antiques.
Here you go. And Kitty pulls out a limited edition plastic doubloon.
With the doggy bag logo on it.
Why am I not?
Doggy bag on
surprised?
one side and winking cat on the other.
Alright, Paradise will take that, flips it in the air and just says, call it.
Heads! Says Ivan.
Did everyone say
I
heads?
think we just agreed on something,
Yep.
guys.
Yeah, we did.
Holy shit.
It is a sign, says Ivan.
That's a good omen.
Now let
Teamwork,
us see what the coin says. And I'm going to roll a d10. 6 or above is...
You could, but that's the one that always flips to heads.
Ah, yeah.
Pirate.
Oh, Demi, thank you so much.
There might be a chance. So, you know.
Could land on its side, but no.
Yeah.
It
Hopefully
lands
on its side.
clattering on the bar in front of Paradigm with Kitty's winking, grinning face peering straight up at him.
Well, looks like
Looks
you're all
like
wrong again, which means I'm gonna have to go with you to save your idiot asses.
Oh, that's a bad sign.
Yay! You get a glomp for that one, a jumping hug.
that
You couldn't stay away.
was nice knowing you, Paradigm. Here, this suit's for you. He pulls one out of the pile. I got a little hole right there around the navel for your little friend so he could eat, all the monstrous bats Ground Zero has to offer.
I wouldn't suppose these are free of charge, are they? I'm supposing you'll expect a little bit extra cream at the top of whatever we bring back.
Oh, of course.
Well, here's the thing. We're gonna need a place to unload any loot we bring back, and who better than our neighborhood-friendly fixer, eh?
You think right, Kitty. And who better to get this stuff on the market than your fixer? I've got the channels, I'm ready to go, and whatever you find that is worth selling, I will have profits in your hands the very next night. After I've garnished my fee, of course.
Of course. 'Tis only understandable.
Now remember, this is your own job, so it's up to you how much you want to put on your debt and how much you want to put in your pocket. You can go either or you can divide it up neatly. I'll leave that up to you. There is
Much obliged.
There is one thing I perhaps can't sell. And at this he looks at Ghost and he says, pay data from old computers. I'm not exactly in the good books with the hacking collectives.
So you
you'll
get
have-
cancelled?
Yeah, something like that. Something about some old posts I made on one of the message boards 10 years ago.
Ivan, you creep.
Well, creep.
Alright, what is it?
It
What
was
do you
a
want from
different
me?
time, Look,
Yeah, that's what they all fucking say. What do you want from me, Ivan?
I don't have the contacts to sell that stuff. You gotta do it yourself. But I think, what is her name? Miss Coilings will be happy to take whatever you find off your hands.
Yeah, I think you're right there.
Okay.
So it seems like you do know somebody, but you don't want to go to her. I won't pry, but yes, I won't pry.
Ooh, you watch your mouth, Jonathan, he says mockingly, waving his finger. I certainly do, know Miss Coilings. That's the problem. That's a story for another time. I tell you what, you come back alive, I'll tell you all about me and her. Now, enjoy your last drink, put on your suits, and get out of here. Was nice knowing you. And then he turns and makes his way to the other side of the bar and he shouts, Hey! Hey, what you doing? Pouring the drink down into the speaker.
I love Ivan's bar.
I do too. It'd lose something if they tried to clean it up. Who'd even do that?
They'd have to get through me first, shouts Ivan across the din, somehow
Not
having
just
heard
you.
your remark.
All right. Crick. Everyone got all the supplies they need? Everyone got clean food and clean water and all that?
All watered up, all fooded up, all supplied up, ready to go.
All right.
As a show of solidarity, Jonathan actually does down his drink for the first time.
Yeah. And Jonathan, you resist the urge to gag and throw this stuff up all over the bar. It tastes more like gasoline than anything drinkable.
Alright, not doing that again. You can have my share next time.
First one will be always the roughest.
First and last, I think.
Well, I ain't had the last one yet. Nor will, so long as me pirates luck holds.
And
But
perhaps you have a slight bit of newfound respect for Ghost. As someone as young as she is, who seems to knock this stuff down glass by glass every time you're here. So you get up and you make your way to the room behind the bar, Ivan's office, that also serves as a makeshift patch-up zone for his troubleshooters. There's first aid kits and old med injectors scattered around, and you climb into the enviro suits. You glance at each other and you can barely see each other's faces behind the thick black visors. You look like spacemen out of the old vids, the ones that land on planets on the other side of the galaxy and get into gunfights with rubber-headed green spacemen and their ray guns.
I haven't worn one of these since I had to broker a trade deal with the Moon Rabbit's emoji.
Indeed.
You really expect us to believe you went to the moon?
Not this moon. We're a different place. A different time.
But the spacesuit was the same. And knowing that, Kitty, and knowing that, well, perhaps not knowing that, in that particular episode, it was near the end of the run, and they didn't exactly have the money to keep the spacesuits in every scene. They were only able to rent them out for the intro of the spaceship sailing through the cosmos. You remember that there's a small red button on the right shoulder, and you press it. Suddenly the spacesuit's cloaking mechanism activates, tapping into all of your retinal feeds. And it looks as if Kitty is just standing there, normal, not wearing this hulking 2050s monstrosity.
Still works like I remember. Not too much flux between the dimensions then, Alright, good to know.
You all shrug, turn, see the same button on your shoulder, and smack it. And when you step out, back into the bar, it looks to everyone else as if you're not wearing the spacesuits at all. Catch Ivan's eye one more time before you step out. He gives you a look of feigned sadness, twisting his mouth into a frown, and then gestures his hand in the air, ushering you out of his bar onto the streets.
All right.
Real good, Ivan. See you later.
So, the nearest
Speak for
way
yourself, buddy.
the nearest way into Ground Zero from here, it touches the ports on the southern side of things.
It does. directly south through the ports, and you'll reach the border of Ground Zero. And from there, if you're able to get in, about a day's walk to the coordinates. So you clamber into Jonathan's stolen taxi while Paradigm flashes you the kind of look that a disappointed father would give to his children. The look that says, I don't agree with what you're doing, but someone's got to cover your asses.
In a somewhat uncharacteristic move, he actually gets into the taxi.
Ooh, nice.
Oh. Hey there.
Traveling in style this time, are you?
Well, that bike was the last thing I got out of there. I'm not taking it back there.
Yeah. Ground Zero.
Sensible.
Ground Zero gives, but Ground Zero takes.
Or is the big scary AI going to take it off you? Put it in timeout or something?
I don't like sassy Jonathan, but this isn't the look for you, dude.
What was in that drink
come
anyway?
The man's coming with us. Give him a little grace.
I still haven't exactly forgiven you for the time those drones tried to murder us.
Well, that weren't him.
Oh, make it out of here alive, and I'll wash under the bridge.
Yeah, drones don't kill people, man.
It does.
Yes, people kill people with drones. I know the saying.
As Paradigm takes his seat in the back of the taxi, sliding in between Ghost and Kitty, he flashes you a look, Jonathan, that basically tells you that perhaps it is only the sense that he owes you for getting his back against those drones that may be the sole reason that he's here right now.
Actually, Ghost, do you think you could drive? That drink was awfully strong. Not feeling fantastic.
It's your responsible ass kid to drive. All right, I can drive.
Yeah, and here's
where's the driver port on this thing?
The thumbsticks.
Oh boy.
Where do I jack in?
Never mind. I'll drive. We'll just go a little slower.
All right.
If you really want to, I can drive, so long as you don't need brakes.
No, it's alright. It's alright. We'll be fine. We'll be fine.
If you're sure.
That's what the problem is. Just show me where the port is.
Jonathan stifles a gag as he places his hands on the steering wheel, turns the ignition chit, and the taxi lurches forwards, jostling you as it makes its way, wobbling out onto the street, and begins to drive through the ports district at a speed barely above walking. The narrow, winding streets are packed with people, trash and debris, making it a treacherous maze to navigate. The buildings are dilapidated with broken windows, graffiti-covered walls, and rusted metal gates that serve as makeshift barricades. As you drive through the ports, you get to see the poverty and desperation that define this part of the city. Crowds of people huddle around the makeshift food stands, trying to eke out a living in the shadow of towering skyscrapers. The air is thick with smog and sea mist, and the streets are clogged with vehicles of all shapes and sizes, each one fighting for space on the crowded roads. Your faces flash in a variety of different neon colours as many dive bars and nightclubs of the ports crawl by. And before long, you reach the very edge of Ground Zero. The thick concrete wall that walls it off is an imposing sight. At least 20... Go ahead, Kitty.
You'll want to leave the car back a ways a bit here. The drones sometimes
Indeed
catch sight of things out this way.
Oh, thanks for the heads up.
And so Jonathan slides the car into a taxi pickup spot in front of a nightclub, the faint bass booming out onto the street as its facade bathes you in green and purple flashing lights. And then you follow Kitty on foot down the crumbling footpath to the great, thick concrete wall that serves as the barrier between Ground Zero and the rest of Psy. It's at least 20 feet high and stretches as far as your eye can see, with razor wire lining the top to discourage climbers. The wall's built to withstand extreme weather and high levels of radiation, with reinforced steel rods buried deep into the concrete foundation. As you approach the wall, you can feel the radiation levels rising, the heat emanating in your very bones, and the Geiger counters built into your enviro suits beginning to drone. The air is thick, the stench of decay, and you can see the skeletal remains of animals and other life forms that were unfortunate, stupid enough to venture too close, littering the base of the wall. As you get closer, you see that the top of the wall is lined with guard towers and searchlights, but none of them are manned. They haven't been in at least a decade. The Sec Corps don't waste their time and money manning the barrier to Ground Zero anymore. It's only those who are very stupid who would ever seek to enter the zone. And so they leave the barrier as it is, trusting that it will be enough to deter visitors. In front of you is a thick, rusted metal gate, a bulwark against the dangers of the wasteland on the other side. Faded lettering on the gate reads, "Danger! Radiation and toxic waste." And then right under it, much cleaner than the rest of the text, there's an ad. "Protected by United Citadel Security. Your safety is our business." Complete with a cartoon image of a heavily armed security guard giving a thumbs up and a broad smile.
Jonathan goes up and taps the sign, kind of mockingly gesturing at the guy. "Do you really think he'd be walking around out here? It's very unlikely, don't you think?" No, there shouldn't be anybody in here.
Yeah, well, the image of the security guard is not wearing an enviro suit, so if he was walking around, he'd probably be experiencing the very painful sudden growth of radiation bearing tumors flooding through his bloodstream. You all stand in front of the gate and you're thinking about how you're supposed to open it, and then Ghost, you notice a small electronic keypad wedged into the concrete wall to the very right of the gate. Another sticker sun-bleached next to it reading "Authorized personnel only, UCS security numbers only."
How tall is the gate?
So the gate takes up about half the wall. It's about 10 feet high, give or take.
Okay.
Normally I scales the wall, puts an old tire on top of the razor wire and goes over, pulling the tire with when I go. But given that we've got a good amount, we might want, and somebody who can diddle with the gate, we might want to do that proper. If you
Somebody who can what?
Diddle.
She's saying...
Well, this is a really weird day, guys. Are you guys fucking smoking something? I'm not.
No, there was something in that drink, though, I think. I'm not sure if I'll get another one from Ivan.
This is a language thing, isn't it? Some slang be changing.
She's trying to say...
Slang's always been like this, man.
She's trying to say she wants you to try and open the gate electronically.
Oh, well, that I can do.
I said something
so.
R-rated, didn't I? Nuts.
Jonathan pulls Kitty aside and says, "Look, so, about that word."
Aye?
And just, like, kind of drones out into a little hushed conversation.
Oh, really? Okay.
While this is going on, Ghost is going to be appraising how to break the lock.
Seems a bit uncomfy, but
Pack it
okay.
in.
So, Ghost, you approach the keypad, and you see a small circular jack right underneath the buttons. Drag the cord out of your cyber deck, plug one end into your neck and the other end into the jack, and then whoosh! You pulled into the datascape once again. But this datascape is lifeless. There's no ice, there's barely any data, it's an endless expanse of grey nothingness. Not even any features in the landscape. UCS, or whatever SecCorp built this gate, hasn't even considered it worth their time to fortify the thing against electronic confusion. And so almost instinctually, and sighing, disappointed at how boring this place is, you were really expecting more from the first line of defense against Ground Zero. You glide over the nothingness to the single object of interest, a glowing data orb, and clasp it in your hands. And then in meat space, you wrench the cord out of your neck, pull the other end out of the jack, and press the button on your cyber deck, and the cord coils, whoosh, sliding back into the casing of your cyber deck.
And voila.
Oh, God, do I need to have a conversation with you too?
The great gate rumbles, lurching as it begins to slide slowly open. And as it does, you're buffeted by boiling wind from the wasteland within, spraying you with irradiated dust.
Yeah, it's just as uncomfortable as I remember.
Yeah.
Is the weather always this bad in here?
If you can call it weather.
I think it classifies.
'Tis an ill wind that blows nobody any good.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it, actually.
When the gate's fully open, you spend a few moments contemplating the utter desolation beyond. The earth is completely lifeless, bleached brown from the sun. Ruined buildings dot the landscape on the horizon like skeletal fingers prying out of the earth and reaching towards the heavens, and tornadoes of glowing, shimmering dust slowly make their way across the irradiated plain. Exchange one last glance at each other, and then you step beyond the gate into Ground Zero, and behind you the gate lets out an almost mournful groan as it begins to slide shut, finally coming to rest with a great thump. And your Ground Zero journey begins.
Looking up at the interior wall of essentially the fortress that keeps Ground Zero in, Jonathan can't help but muse out loud. From this side, it looks almost like it's supposed to keep things in. From the other side, it's a little bit less foreboding.
Yeah. This side seems to be where the guard towers and the searchlights are designed to provide the most surveillance of. When this place was patrolled, it seems almost as if their priority was to watch for things approaching the barrier to keep them in, rather than to keep the rest of the city out.
That was a sensible way to look at it, given what roams around in here sometimes.
And so, Jonathan reaches into his breast pocket, pulls out the weathered piece of paper, unfolds it, and reads out the coordinates. The coordinates appear, blinking up in the corner of your retina display. An electronic arrow begins to flash on the horizon, like a quest marker in an old video game, telling you exactly how far you are from these coordinates. It's only a simple matter of getting there in one piece. So, guys, please describe to me how you journey through Ground Zero. Are there any particular precautions you're taking? Any particular formation you're traveling in? Is there one person in particular who's keeping an eye out for threats? Someone who's navigating?
I'm thinking we should have a navigator in the middle. One person running silent out in front, and another person watching the rear.
That's actually
the last person wherever
perfect
they
formation.
like to be.
Yeah, perfect formation.
So we were trained for things similar to this when I was working with the cops, with the trauma teams. That's pretty much perfect formation. Where did you study anywhere?
'Tis normal squad tactics against the Labrador Legion. They always kind of focus on putting their lines wide. So going with a lucky diamond, that's the way to go.
Jonathan realizes that maybe not everything inside Kitty's head is a bizarre mixture of the old and the strange, and maybe there's something actually to them.
Why, there were a time when, and most of Kitty's knowledge comes from her squad tactics tie-in game.
Yeah. Doggy bag. Doggy bag versus Labrador Legion.
The Full Metal Bitch. That was the name of the first one.
That's very family friendly.
Yeah.
Alright, I suppose that leaves us with the question. Who wants to be point, who wants to be navigator, and who wants to bring up the rear?
Yeah.
Probably either me or Paradigm for the front. Paradigm because he knows more to what to look out for, though I knows a little too. Or me because I'm a smaller target and harder to spot.
Well, I'm not going to deign to tell you what to do, but if anybody wants to volunteer.
Between giggling at the phrase, take up the rear, Ghost, moves into an interior position.
Yeah.
Alright. Paradigm, do you want the front or the back?
I suppose I'll go up front.
I'll take the back then.
Because regardless, Paradigm was going to be hugely paranoid and looking out for things anyway.
Yeah.
I just took the back.
I mean,
it's an anterior.
Oh, you just took the back?
Yeah.
I'll be in the middle.
That's an anterior, not interior. Yeah.
That means, Kitty, you're in the crow's nest, ready to fire upon oncoming threats once the captain gives you the order.
Alright, gunner position A.
since Jonathan is still navigating the drink that Ivan gave him, and has thoroughly exposed that he's accidentally being a little bit silly today. He kind of pats his shoulder to indicate Kitty she can hop up.
Oh, all right.
Crow's nest right here.
What's Jonathan? She hops up. What's Jonathan's strength bonus?
Strength +1.
Okay, well, Kitty is carrying about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 items, so you are instantly encumbered.
It's okay, whatever. We're just walking.
Yeah. It's okay, you're just walking, you
can hop off whenever we need to do things.
Fair enough. Jump off as soon as shit hits the fan and Jonathan's ready to go.
Yeah.
He's already staggering, taking it slow from the drink, so hey, taking it just a slight bit slower with Kitty on his shoulders is no big deal. Besides, kind of have to take it slow anyway, as you're barely a few feet beyond the barrier, and already you're being buffeted by radioactive dust storms and having to hike over sand dunes that may as well be mountains with how slowly and carefully you have to take them. You crest the top of the nearest one, and then you begin your journey trudging across the wasteland towards the blinking arrow on your retina displays. As you wander through the wasteland, you can't help but feel a sense of foreboding. The landscape is barren, desolate, with only twisted metal and broken concrete as far as you can see. The air is tinted with the smell of radiation. A strange, half metallic, half chemical smell. It's most similar to a mixture of blood and rust. Makes it very difficult to breathe. You constantly flash a glance to your right shoulders, checking the inbuilt Geiger counters, making sure the radiation levels stay within safe limits. In the distance, you can see the remnants of buildings and skyscrapers standing tall like rusted skeletons against the harsh yellow sky. You can hear the occasional distant howl of mutant creatures, and you keep your hands on your weapons, just in case.
Go easy on that water. Don't know how much we'll have.
Paradigm, you're at the very front. Go ahead and make me a presence investigate check.
While this is going on, Jonathan just moans to himself, "Oh, fuck. I know we're like halfway up, but we should have rented motorcycles or something." Oh, God's sake. Next time, one of us has to remember.
Look at you, big spender.
16.
16.
So, some hoverboards.
So, you've only been making your way through Ground Zero for about half an hour, and it already feels as if you've spent a full day here. Your progress is slow, unsteady, and it doesn't take long at all before Paradigm clocks the first threat. Paradigm, as the group wanders through the irradiated wasteland, you spot a strange shape moving in the distance. First, you think it might be a wild animal, but as it draws closer, you realize it's a large, dog-shaped robot. Its metal body is covered in rust, and its mechanical legs move with a clunky, unsteady gait. It seems to be searching for something, its sensors scanning the wasteland as it crawls along. As the robot gets closer, you can see that it's in rough shape. Its joints are corroded, and parts of its metal plating are missing, exposing wires and circuits. Despite its condition, it's clear that this robot was built to be tough and durable, somehow still active, roaming this place of utter desolation.
And, yeah, upon spotting it, he just sort of like throws a hand up and she's like, wait.
You got
What is
something?
it?
Kitty slides down off Jonathan's shoulder.
Paradigm sinks
Over there.
down, points his finger. Over there. You stop, peer over the sand dunes and sun-bleached concrete, and then you see the robot. Its metal gleaming in the harsh sun. Slowly makes its way across the landscape, its head sweeping from left to right, its red eyes flashing as it scans for something. For you, perhaps. Or would you like to...
You've been here before. Have you seen one of these before?
Paradigm.
I don't think
You've
I've ever seen
not,
one of these.
you've not seen one of these specifically, but you know that all sorts can be found within Ground Zero, and most of the things that roam around here are corrupted by the nano in some way and are most certainly not to be trusted. Ghosts, however, you have technology as one of your skills, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
So you recognize this as an old crawler drone. The 530 Saskia model, perhaps. It's a couple generations out of date. But it was a dangerous, formidable hunter and tracker in its time.
Military or?
SecCorp.
Oh shit, that's a Saskia. Don't go near that.
Oh, so it is looking
Should
out
we
for
look?
us.
Should we lie low till it goes past?
Should we?
Up to you guys.
Don't know.
So
Do I know anything about its, like,
You know
hunting
Ghost.
protocols?
You know Ghost that actually I'll get you to do a knowledge technology check to see
I figured.
exactly what you glean.
Oh, that's 24.
24.
I am.
You take
No,
one
25.
25. You take one
was a nat 20.
glance at it as it lumbers towards you, and then you dive down, hitting the dirt with the others. So this particular model seems to have been employed specifically to hunt and destroy threats. It was most likely deployed right after the incident that made Ground Zero what it is. It was set to patrol mode, probably to protect whoever set it up, whether they're still alive or not, and it's spent the decades since prowling the landscape, scanning for threats using its infrared vision, and most likely, if you were to hazard a guess, simply blasting whatever it sees with its onboard assault rifle.
Yeah, hide. Very much hide.
All right.
Is it going to leave on its own, or is it just going to go in little circles?
Is it?
You watch it for a few more moments. It could be set on a patrol route, but there isn't particularly anything to be patrolling here. The ruined buildings are still a bit of a ways in. It's just sand dunes, old concrete, burnt out car wrecks. And so your assumption, Ghost, is that it's just roaming aimlessly, searching for threats wherever it can find them.
Semi-autonomous. It'll probably go away. Just don't disturb it. Don't alert it to our presence at all.
Oh, you don't have to tell me twice.
So it is scanning with its infrared vision. So I'd like you to describe how you're going to hide from it. Do you want to just keep low in the sand dunes and hope it doesn't come too close, or do you want to find somewhere else to hide?
What's around?
So you look around, there's some burnt out shells of old cars. There's what looks to be an autonomous garbage truck, now just nothing more than a hulk of twisted, rusted metal fused into the concrete. There's some rocks scattered around and piles of debris here and there. Plenty of things you could obstruct yourself behind, but you don't know which ones would be safest choice.
What do you guys reckon? Ghost will point out these options in a hushed voice.
We basically just have to block line of sight and hope whatever it is thick enough. Probably the rocks. The rocks would be thick.
Does it have any other methods of
They're warned by the
people
sun,
out?
too.
As far as you know, Ghost, it just has its infrared vision. It does have onboard sound detectors, but based on the condition this robot's in, you're not entirely sure those are working. You can see the part of its body where the sound detector module would be, and there's just a big rusty growth there hanging off the dog's back flank.
So,
Okay.
Yeah, back up and get behind something.
yeah.
But the
rocks
sand
are probably
dune sounds like a good call, actually, especially if
That
it's
too,
infrared.
Yeah.
Oh, you're the expert. I'll do
Actually-
whatever you want.
Actually, we
Just stay
could
put.
probably bury ourselves, but that would make too much motion. Never mind.
Just stay put. Don't move.
Alright.
Yeah.
Stay put where you are, hope it doesn't come this way and spot you behind the sand dune, or scurry to one of the nearby rocks like Kitty suggests.
Jonathan's deferring to Ghost. She clearly knows tech, and he doesn't know anywhere near as well as she does.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say sand dune, and if it comes close, I'll hack it.
Yeah, alright.
All right, and if that fails, Kitty pulls out some weird-looking cobbled-together massive wires and metal with a radar dish.
Yeah.
What is that?
What?
What the fuck is that?
You have Ghost. This is something that is very clearly illegal, Ghost. That's all you know. Kitty should not have this and has clearly been making some friends between last session and now.
Always
They
with
called it a
extra
HERF
shit.
gun. High electromagnetic radio frequency.
Isn't it gonna kill you? Whatever, let's... Okay, shut up.
As you
Shut the fuck up.
As you are remaining in place, I'll ask
the one talking.
everyone to make me an agility stealth roll.
Can do. Agility's good for me.
Yes, it
I
is.
think being small
15.
would help me out
Small
here.
would help you here. 15.
Let me get to lucky dice, because I don't trust Owlbear no more.
Not more.
That's 20.
20, nice.
Hey, 20. Dirty 20.
Nice.
No, wait. No, I was
that's a
looking at the
one.
wrong one. I'm gonna pay Glitch to make that not a fumble.
Yeah, not a fumble, alright. So I won't count that as
Oh,
two
that's yours. I
failures.
was looking at the wrong one.
Yeah,
I
that's
won't-
mine.
I won't count that as 2 failures for the group, I'll only count it as 1. And Paradigm?
Alright.
Nothing on. 17.
17. 3 passes, 1 failure. Luckily you didn't make that a botch, otherwise that probably would have blown the stealth roll for everyone.
Yeah.
So Kitty, you're just sort of perching still on Jonathan. You've clambered back up onto Jonathan's shoulder so you can get a good look over the crest of the sand dune towards the crawler drone. And as it turns its head right in your direction, Paradigm just steps forwards, grabs you, and roughly pulls you off Jonathan's shoulders, nearly burying you face first in the dirt. The crawler drone's gaze lingers on where Kitty was for an uncomfortably long time. And then it turns away and continues walking, its joints whirring. It draws closer and closer. You sink deeper into the sand dune, trying to remain as still as you possibly can, hoping that the layers and layers of sand and dirt will disguise your body heat. You can hear the drone. You can't see it anymore, but you can hear the whir of its joints. As it draws closer and closer, and then it stops. You can hear the hum of its threat detection system as it begins to scan the area surrounding it. And then it turns and begins to make its way off in another direction. The whirring sounds grow softer and softer, and you all breathe a collective sigh of relief as you rise to your knees, peering over the crest of the dune and watching as it makes its way towards a cluster of burnt-out buildings in the distance, disappearing around a corner.
Well, I'm glad we listened to you for that. Thank you very much for keeping us alive.
You're welcome.
Much obliged to both of you. All right, let's get a move on before it comes back.
So, Ghost, you are on the Vanguard. I would ask you to please roll a d6 for me.
Sure can. And that's a 1.
A 1.
Oh god.
Alright. It's just to determine what happens next. 1's not necessarily a bad thing.
Necessarily.
You continue onwards, getting back into formation. Paradigm in the front, and Kitty once again in the gunner's nest on Jonathan's shoulders. The group carefully, slowly pressing onwards through the wasteland. You walk for an hour and then another hour, and the only thing that seems to change is that the heat grows hotter, more sweltering. The ruined concrete that pokes out of the sand in places is bleached white in the sun, so bright white that you have to raise your hands to your eyes to protect yourself from its glare. Meanwhile, the withered, gnarled edifices that are ruined skyscrapers draw ever closer, and the distance tracker in your retina display slowly counts down. Tick, 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 tick. 87 miles. 87.5, 86.5 miles. 86.2 miles. 85.9 miles. Paradigm, go ahead and make for me a presence investigate check. See. 16, lovely.
Yeah.
As the group crests yet another sand dune, you peer down into what you at first think is a valley, but then realize is in fact a giant crater blasted into the earth. And you see a great grey splotch, like a stain, against the deep brown landscape. You guide the group slightly closer, squinting as you begin to descend into the crater. And suddenly, the stench of decay fills your nostrils and your ears register the eerie silence as you realize that the grey stain on the landscape is in fact a pile of corpses in various states of decay. At least 50 or more piled in a sort of lopsided pyramid. The most disconcerting thing is that no flies or grubs or indeed any other signs of life can be seen feasting on these remains.
Fairly unfazed by this, Jonathan moves up to some of them and attempts to just do a quick cursory appraisal of how they might have died.
Make me a knowledge medicine check, please.
Wonderful.
Well, they still look like corpses, though, don't they? It's not like as we get closer, it's like, oh, they're clearly robots or something. Like,
no, they are very clearly organic. You can smell the decay. You can smell their bodies decomposing in the bleached sun, but normally you'd expect flies or maggots, and there's nothing at all.
Unnatural D20.
Ooh, unnatural 20. So...
No, not a natural, an unnatural D20.
Yeah, a dirty 20. So, Jonathan, you
Dirty 20, I like that.
creep forwards as Paradigm holds out his hand, silently bidding you to be careful. You approach this pyramid of corpses. They're most certainly human. Their clothes are still mostly intact, the colours bleached from the sun. Their skin is putrid, leathery. Here and there, parts of the skin have peeled away, revealing bones and rotting flesh. Stench of disgusting decay and death fill your nostrils, and it takes you a second after you're buffeted by this to steady yourself and avoid simply hurling your guts onto the dirt. You draw closer and begin to examine the corpses at the very bottom of the pile, taking great care not to touch them. You can't really tell how they died, but you do notice a strange wound that all of them seem to share in common. A line of tiny needle-sized pinpricks around the bases of their neck, each one about half a centimetre apart, forming a ring around their necks. There's also something deeply, deeply unsettling about the fact that they all seem to be locked in expressions of unmistakable agony and terror.
Is it clear by the pinpricks on their neck whether it was something that was like jammed into them, like a collar, or whether they were like repeatedly injected with something?
Yeah,
or?
it looks as if someone got a needle and just jabbed it in over and over, taking great care to make these marks exactly half a centimetre apart.
Yeah, Jonathan just spends a little bit of time kind of rummaging around, poking, prodding, examining, and tries to make some sense of it.
Jonathan, as you draw closer to one of the corpses and place your hands on its torso to tear away the shirt so you can examine the abdomen and see if you can find more of these pinpricks. Suddenly,
Kitty's on guard, of course.
Kitty's on guard, yep. Suddenly you hear sounds of movement from within the corpse pile. Laying your hands upon it, has awoken something. And within a span of less than 6 seconds, all around you, your ears are buffeted by the sounds of cracking bones, squelching flesh, as the heads of several of the corpses begin to detach. Spindly spider-like legs growing, shooting out of the pinprick holes, pulling the heads free of the corpses. The heads look at you with their frozen, terrified expressions. And then they begin to scuttle towards you.
Well, the ones that aren't currently being shot to bits, because, you know, the second they start moving, they're getting bullets.
Yeah. Go ahead, Kitty, roll me a presence guns check.
This is gonna be the machine pistol. Consider the shotgun, but, you know, the recoil's too close to Jonathan, so... Roll... Difficulty 12, I assume?
Difficulty 12. But actually, they're so small, difficulty 14.
Ouch. Alright. Well, that's a nat 20 on that one.
That's a nat 20. So...
I'll go ahead and roll out the rest of the auto fire if that's okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
And a 4 misses, so only
4
one
misses.
gets it, but it really gets it.
Yeah, so you're prepared, Kitty, and as soon as you see the spindly legs shoot out of the holes and the head detach itself from the corpse that Jonathan has his hands on, you are ready. The head has barely pulled itself off the neck before you fire at it. Roll damage.
Well, that was a crit, and the dice roller said, "Hey, I remember you," and gave me a 1. So that's 2 points of damage after the crit's done.
2 points of damage. You blast, bang, shooting one of its spindly legs, and it snaps off and goes flying, but this thing, whatever it is, doesn't seem to care. It steadies itself with its other legs. Its massive, spindly insect-like legs, and like some sort of eldritch crab, it begins to scuttle towards you, along with at least 6 or 7 more currently tearing down the pile, detaching themselves from the corpse heads. This is their nest, and their nest must grow. The nanobot-infested human head scuttling around on its spider legs is a horrifying sight to behold. The once human head has been taken over by tiny nanobots, transforming it into a grotesque, half-mechanical, half-organic abomination. The head is attached to multiple spindly spider legs, allowing it to move with a creepy, unpredictable gait. The eyes roll back in the sockets, replaced by glowing red orbs that scan the surroundings hungrily, and the mouth opening, contorting from its expression of fear and pain, is a jagged maw filled with razor-sharp metal teeth. Here and there, sprinkled along the joints of the spindly legs, are tiny little blue crystalline growths. And I've put a picture in Owlbear Rodeo of what these things look like. Or my screen share if you're looking at that. Oh no, their net died.
Yeah, hell of a timing.
Oh. Yeah, we have to look through screen share.
Yeah, but I've got the screen share, it's okay. Still in the chat though, but Discord usually does that.
Yep. Discord's sturdy.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Or they could be on their phones.
Oh yeah, all that. Alright. So, I would like... Well, I'm going to get Jonathan to do it when he returns. or Kitty, since you took the first shot, go ahead and roll me a d6. Ah, there we go.
Will do. One. God bless. This is tempting me to go back to Owlbear. If I didn't know better, I'd go back to Owlbear. Because holy crap.
Yep, 1, which means enemies go first.
Yeah.
So
the enemies have always gone first, haven't they?
I know, there's only been one time that they haven't. So I was gonna, and I added +1 to it to make it, because you got the first shot, so you kind of surprised them, which makes it go to 2. So they still go first. So
slightly slower though.
the headhunter that you fired at continues scurrying across the corpse that it detached itself from, and then tensing its spider-like legs, it leaps up in the air straight towards you, Kitty, baring its sharp metallic teeth. Go ahead and make me a defense roll.
Alright. This be a little easier, maybe. Okay. That'll be a 16.
16. You duck, scrambling off Jonathan's shoulders as the thing flies over you. It lands with a thump in the dirt, and then immediately its spindly legs right its trajectory, and it begins to scuttle back towards you.
Not today, dead thing.
Another one frees itself from one of the corpses, comes scuttling down the side of the pyramid, and gazes towards you, Kitty. Suddenly, its glowing red eyes glow bright, and a laser shoots out towards you. Roll me a defense roll.
Of course they have laser eyes. Why wouldn't they? So, ouchie. Laser eyes. Yeah, it's kind of in the title. I'll glitch.
Glitch, go ahead.
Reroll 20-something, so that's
20. You throw yourself behind a nearby rock as the laser hits it. And when you peer out from behind the rock, the spot that the laser hit is now covered in tiny little glimmering blue shards.
A
third
infectious laser.
Infectious laser.
Fun.
A third headhunter bursts out of the pile of corpses, levels its eyes towards Paradigm, and fires its laser eyes.
Not your laser eyes. Any agility? Watch out. Ooh, 14.
14, nice.
Yeah.
You slide down next to Kitty behind the rock as the laser hits it, sprinkling more shining blue shards across its surface. Then you hear the sound of soft pattering footfalls behind you. You whirl around to see 2 more headhunters leaping off the ground, baring their needle-like teeth as they leap towards you, Paradigm. Make me 2 defense rolls.
I didn't want to come here. Well, these weren't here last time. Ooh. That's pretty early, so it's a 4 on the first one.
Yep, and the second one?
Plus 32, plus 2. And the second one's a 12.
12.
Which is exactly, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, thank God it's back. So, the spider-like creature lands on your shoulder and sinks its razor-like teeth into your neck, dealing 3 points of damage. Of course, your armor may soak some of that.
Yes.
What did I miss?
So,
Well,
Heads.
yeah. Picture in our bear rodeo, the heads have started to
Oh, so it's
detach.
2, so I take 1.
Take 1. The heads have started to detach themselves from the corpses as Jonathan touched them. And now they're scuttling forth on spider-like legs, trying to sink their razor-like teeth into your necks to expand their nest.
My favorite.
And they also,
also at
have
least
eye
one of
lasers.
them's got laser eyes.
They also have laser eyes, because of course they do. So 1 point of damage to Paradigm, and Paradigm, I'd like you to make a toughness check for me. Survival can be added if you have that as a skill.
I do not. Toughness. Oh, I'm gonna. It's glitch to reroll, isn't it?
Glitch to reroll.
Yep. Sure is.
Yes. Hopefully. Okay, it's a 13 this time.
13. You pass. You grab the thing by the base of its skull and wrench it off your neck. There's a sting as its needle-like teeth are ejected, and then you toss it off your shoulder into the dirt. 2 more burst out of the horde. This is now 6 you're dealing with, and their eyes glimmer as they focus on Jonathan and pew, shoot laser beams from their eyes in his direction. Jonathan, I'd like you to go ahead and make 2 defense rolls for me.
Can do. So that's agility, right?
Yep, agility. And acrobatics if you got it.
Uh, 22.
22, yep, on the first one. Alright, let's see how you do at the second one.
And 22 on the second as well.
Yeah, lovely. You throw yourself into the pile of corpses, grabbing one of them and holding the headless corpse up as a human shield as the laser beams slam into it, tearing through its flesh and clothing, and when you toss it aside, there's now glimmering blue crystals growing out of its chest cavity. One last headhunter extracts itself from the corpse pyramid and tenses its spider-like legs and then flings itself through the air at Ghost. Ghost, go ahead to make me an agility check. If you have melee, you may add that because this is a close range attack.
I rolled a nat 1.
Nat 1. Do you want a glitch to make it not a botch?
Yes, I do.
Alright, so only normal
With agility,
damage.
that's up to 5, but yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you take 4 points of damage as the thing lands on your neck and sinks its needle-like teeth into the base of your skull, making 2 little pinpricks. Your armor may soak that.
Ow!
And after you've subtracted your armor, I'd like you to make a difficulty 12 toughness check for me. You may add survival if you have it.
Yep. No, I'm not counting that roll. Fuck it. Albert just screwed me.
Doing the dice tipping thing. Yeah.
What was it?
So 4 points of damage, subtract your armor, and then make a DR12 toughness check for me.
Okay, roll D2. The So it was 3 damage.
Yep, 3 damage. 4 damage. Yep. If
Sorry, the armor rating was 1.
yep, so 3. Yep.
3. Okay.
Plus toughness.
And then so toughness. Nat 20.
Nat 20.
Oh.
Nice. You shriek as you feel the thing's teeth digging deeper into your neck, and you shout, "Get it off! Get it off! Get it off!" and thrust your shoulder out, wrenching it from your neck and tossing it down onto the ground. Okay. Jonathan, you were the one who touched the corpse and activated them, so you get to go first.
Oh, joy of joys. Everyone, I'm so sorry. I won't touch any more corpses, I promise.
Why did you touch what?
So he's going to auto fire.
You're gonna auto fire? Go ahead.
Yep.
DR 14 to hit them because they're so small.
Plus guns.
Yep. Guns? Yep. Agility plus guns.
14 for the first one.
Yeah, you hit it. Go ahead. Roll
Cool.
damage.
That's 7.
As your bullet hits the head, it opens its mouth, lets out a terrifying metallic scream, and then the spider-like legs drop off the base of its neck, bubbling away before your eyes, turning into ash, leaving only a detached, inert head behind. Go ahead, roll another auto fire.
That's a 9. That's not going to cut
It's
it.
a 9. You're spraying them, but the things are extremely nimble. They leap out of the way, scurry under corpses and rocks, and avoid your onslaught. All right, Paradigm, you're up next.
Oh god, so there's still...
Still 6
What's
of
that,
them.
5? Oh, still 6. Jesus.
Still 6 up.
Yeah, no, I want to get rid of as many as I can, so I'm going to take out my smart gun and try and auto fire.
Auto fire, go ahead. Agility plus guns if you got it.
Yep. Whoops. Ability guns. Or whoops. God damn macros. There we go. So it's a 19 on the first one.
19, yeah, you hit it. Go ahead, roll your damage.
Four damage.
4 damage. You raise your gun, pointed at one of the things that's scuttling down the pyramid towards you, and unleash the payload. The bullets splatter the top of the skull, and it shrieks as the spindly legs drop off and melt away. Roll to hit another one.
What? Oh, it's a 16.
16, ooh.
Nice.
Roll damage to hit the next one.
Roll damage or?
Yep, roll damage.
Yeah. It was a 5 this time.
5. You see a second one tensing its legs, getting ready to spring upon you, and you whirl around and blast it out of midair. It shrieks as the legs coil in on themselves and break away. 4 more of them left. Go ahead, roll to hit another one.
It's an 8 on the third shot.
8. You aim at another one, and it, sensing what's coming, it buries itself underneath a corpse, bursting out the other side with a sickening... Alright, Ghost, you're up.
Yeah.
Auto fire at the nearest one.
Go ahead, roll to hit it. Agility
One more
guns.
time, what's the roll for hitting?
Agility guns with auto fire.
Yeah. Oh my god, these rolls. That's an 8.
An 8, yeah. You pick up your gun, and you've never fired auto-fire before, Ghost. You're not at all prepared for the recoil. You have the thing right in your sights, but then you pull the trigger, and the auto pistol goes boom, knocking you nearly off your feet, and the bullets slam into the corpse pile about half a foot away from where you were aiming.
Oh god, I hope that's not gonna fucking do anything.
And finally, Kitty.
Well, I've got one up in me grill right now, so I'll be switching to the machete for ease of chopping. So we'll go ahead and see how this rolls. It's already wounded. Another natural 1. You know what? I'm going to pay a glitch to make it not a 1.
Yeah, so it doesn't
Not
get
a
a
fumble.
bonus attack.
But come on now.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Grab your machete and slice it through the air, but the thing scurries away under your arm and perches on a nearby rock, preparing to retaliate. And it does. All 4 of the remaining headhunters fix their eyes upon one of you, and pew, 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 loose their eye lasers. I'd like each of you to make a defense check for me. You may add acrobatics if you've got it, since this is a ranged attack.
19.
19, nice.
21.
15?
15, Paradigm.
No, 17.
17, yep.
Just agility. 16.
16, nice.
Yeah.
You see where Kitty's hiding, and you rush towards her, crouching behind the rock as the lasers blast into the dirt where you were, littering it with glowing blue crystal shards. And now, Jonathan, you're up.
How many were there left? 3, sorry?
4 left.
4.
4 left. Ooh. Yeah, it's time to use the trusty auto fire.
Go ahead.
Grand Pry.
That's a 26 on the first one.
Yeah, nice. You hit it. Roll the damage.
Actually, I might just roll all my hits first, so I can just keep reusing
Yeah,
the
go
dice
ahead.
marker.
Yeah, go ahead.
Is it 12 to hit or 14?
14.
So it's only 1 hit again.
Only 1 hit. That's okay. Roll your damage. You tried.
That is a 3 though. 3 damage.
3 damage. You blast it with bullets, and it shrieks as it flips over, and its legs coil up before breaking apart into dust, leaving 3 of these things. Paradigm, go ahead.
Yeah, continue auto firing. There's still
Yep.
3 left.
Let's go.
Oh. 6 on the first shot.
6. There's only 3 left, and they seem to know it. They seem to be moving ever so slightly faster, and it almost seems as if the less there are, the smarter they become. They seem to predict the arc of your weapon, leaping out of the way with unnatural speed. Ghost, you're up.
Same deal.
Auto fire, go ahead.
Come on. There we go. 17, was it plus agility?
Yeah, and that's a hit. Roll
21.
Yeah, 21, roll the damage.
Yep. Let's see, it's D6. 5.
5, nice. You blast the one that bit into your neck, and the skull's face turns into a bloody, undifferentiated mass as the creature is dispatched. Roll to hit another one. You're auto-firing.
Yep. 6.
6. Unfortunately, the next one's aware that you're firing at it. You whirl around to shoot, and it buries itself under a pile of
Oh wait,
debris.
sorry, that was roll to hit. Sorry.
Oh, yep, go ahead.
I
roll
rolled
it,
for
yeah.
damage.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, roll to hit. Not damage. See if you hit it.
That's 15.
Yeah, it's a hit. Roll the damage. And we'll take the
6.
same roll. 6.
Yeah.
As it darts underneath a pile of debris, you let off another barrage of rounds, hitting it right between the eyes, and it shrieks as it goes down. There's one of them left. Can you take it out?
Right now, Ghost is like, yes,
Yes!
That's a 16.
Yeah, that's a hit. Roll the damage.
6.
6.
Yeah.
It scuttles towards you. Its eyes begin to glow red as it prepares its eye laser. And just before it fires, you take a deep breath. And before you fire, what kick-ass action one-liner does Ghost say? That she's
you're
probably...
putting me on the spot here. Sorry, I just thought about Vincent's line. Oh god. Honestly, I think that Ghost is just sort of like giggling in a really creepy way.
She's just going... as she unloads, blasts the thing, and it flips over, and the legs begin to powder into dust. You look at each other, breathing sighs of relief. It appears that they're all gone, but then you hear a great hum. And you see the pile of corpses begin to vibrate as the individual corpses begin to gyrate, and their torsos begin to extend. Their skin peels apart, revealing fleshy growths and blue crystalline shards that grow bigger and bigger. What do you do?
Let's run.
Somebody tell me they got a grenade.
I think we should be running right now.
We should be getting away from it, yeah.
No,
Run.
Run!
Run, turn around,
We're going.
run. Alright, I'd like everyone to make me an agility athletics check.
You guys are no fun. Agility athletics?
Yep, agility athletics.
Can I use acrobatics?
Yeah, alright, if you're gonna jump out of the way.
Then that's 16.
16,
13 for me.
13,
13.
13.
That was the target number, right? You didn't mention
Target, I didn't mention target number, it is DR14. So Jonathan
it. In
and...
that case, I will use acrobatics to jump out of the way.
Yep, alright, adding +2. Paradigm?
Alright.
I trip and fall on my face with an 8.
Ooh. Kitty and Ghost jump out of the way, and Jonathan sees them at the last moment, and he turns around, tries to run, but then beside him, Paradigm trips over a loose rock and tumbles forwards, and Jonathan hesitates for a moment, just a moment, to reach his hand out to Paradigm, help him to his feet, and pull him away as the headhunter nest explodes, raining gore, blood, and crystalline shards upon you. And Jonathan and Paradigm, you each take 3 points of damage.
Armor.
Yep. Armor may reduce
Armor.
this.
Armor and pray. Because there's going to be a toughness check, probably.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's one less. So what does it bring me down to?
So 2 in that case.
Oof.
So how much was it? Was it 3 total?
3 points of damage total, yep.
Cool. So 2 from armor, so I only take 1 again.
Yep, and I'd like you both to make toughness checks, please. DR12.
Yeah.
Uh, 17.
17. Paradigm.
21.
21. As the goop and the crystal begins to rain down, you bury your faces in the sand. You feel it pattering onto your back, and when the onslaught is over, you turn around, gasping for breath. Luckily, none of it managed to get in your body. Where the pile of corpses once was, there's nothing but a pile of dismembered body parts, puddles of blood, and glowing blue shards that are already beginning to disintegrate and melt into the dirt.
All right then, Jonathan, what have we learned?
We learned not to touch strange corpses in the strange desert.
All right, you learned the right lesson. Let's get out of here quick before the gunfire draws attention.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, so as you head away, you take a small breather. D4 HP for everyone, and ammunition checks, please. If you auto-fired, it's going to be a 1d6 instead of a 1d8.
Yep.
1 to 3 means you need to reload.
I actually don't have to.
Lovely.
Nice, okay. Dice roller giveth, and the dice roller taketh. And
Points,
4.
nice.
So I'm good.
Oh, you're good. Lovely.
Let's see, 1d8?
Yep, 1d8.
That's a 5, so that's no reload.
Yeah.
6.
All good.
4, so that's no reload, isn't it?
Yeah, no reload. Only 1 to 3
Nice.
to reload. So, you got away with your lives and your ammunition count intact. Congratulations. Making sure to
Few glitches.
flash annoyed looks at Jonathan. You get back into formation, punching up, and continuing on, continuing towards the flashing arrow, and the distance counter counts down.
I told you we could handle whatever's out here.
We just ran.
Yeah, but we handled it.
84 miles, 83.9 miles, 83.8. And you continue on. And the sun grows high in the sky as you press on, trekking down winding, cracked roads. The blinding white concrete eventually fades, turning a dull grey colour as the sun begins to grow lower and lower in the sky, and the orangeness above grows a deeper shade of red. According to your retina displays, it's late in the afternoon, and you've been walking for hours, thankfully, without incident. Onwards through the wasteland. The counter continues ticking down. 43 miles, 42.8, 42.7, 42.6. All is silent save for the crunch of your footfalls on the cracked concrete and the irradiated sand. The sound of the dust storms blowing in the wind, and the Geiger counters of your enviro suits crackling, growing louder and louder as you draw nearer to your destination. Yes, Kitty?
Come dusk, we should start looking for a place to hold up.
Yeah.
We're not
Good
going
idea.
to cover 40 miles in a day, and we do not want to be out at night.
Paradigm, you
They mostly
concur.
comes out at night. Mostly.
I would like Ghost, who is the Vanguard, to roll another d6 for me, please.
I am the Vanguard. 5.
You are the Vanguard. 5. Beep, beep, beep. Beep, beep, beep.
Hold on.
An image pops up on your RCDs, your retinal
Okay.
displays. An image of a microphone in the bottom left corner, blinking on and off. You're picking up a radio signal. The sound of the beep startles you, piercing through the silence, extremely loud, overwhelming your senses. Beep, 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 beep. Beep, 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 beep. Unknown, the ID says on your display, blinking over and over.
What the hell is our radio signal out here?
What do you do?
Radios be easy to make, mate. It's not like the people here can exactly leave.
Can I
Perhaps
determine
must be a
anything about
distress
it?
signal from years ago.
Yeah, Ghost, if you'd like to do a knowledge technology check, you might be able to backtrace it.
11.
11. The DR was 10. It's not an encrypted signal. In fact, the protocols appear to be at least 5 or 6 generations out of date. Which means that the signal's being broadcast from infrastructure within Ground Zero. It's an easy task to backtrace it, and it appears to be coming from exactly 1 mile to the east of here, which, according to an old map you're able to bring up, drawn straight from the old Psi archives, is the site of an old corporate headquarters belonging to ACGS.
Yeah, Ghost realized this.
You know, there'd be enough time left in the day to get over there, and if it takes a while to check out, corporate headquarters might be a good place to shack up.
So I'm not so sure about this. Last time I touched something dead and
Weird.
decayed. It bit back. Should we really be doing that again?
Oh, now you're unsure.
Beep, beep, beep. Beep, beep, beep. The notification keeps blinking in your retina display.
I say we check it out. What do ye vote?
Is there
I vote enough for one day. I vote no.
Vote no, one yes.
Is there any more information coming through it, or is it just like a basically just a signal?
It's a signal, but you can choose to let it in through your retina's protocol. The protocol's quite out of date, so your retina is not automatically relaying whatever message the signal conveys, but you could choose to patch it through.
I'll take the risk. I'll patch it through.
Kitty
If no one else wants to.
Kitty reaches up, presses a button under her ear, and then suddenly Kitty, and for all of you, the beeping stops. And then Kitty, you hear a blast of static in your ears. And a voice barely audible beyond it. Hold up. Holding up in. Only 3 of us left. UCS squad number 775. Back up. Back up. Only 2 of us left. Package secured at... The static dies, and with that, the signal stops broadcasting.
Well now.
The wasteland
Did
is
them
silent
do
once
tell
again.
tales. UCS, what's that an abbreviation for?
United
I
Citadel
don't speak
Security.
giant at that level.
The rest of you realise it's probably United Citadel Security. Not much else it could be.
Well, we vote still for checking it out. Does this change anyone's mind?
No, not an iota. Look, it's clear we're the only things living around here.
It depends on your definition of the word. I say we check it out. At least the old building might be able to be fortifiable.
That's half the party.
Alright, so it looks
Unless
like...
Ghost has any strong objections.
Yeah, it looks like Ghost has the deciding vote.
Look, I just vote that we find somewhere where I can sleep.
Yeah, fair enough.
This is probably the most secure place. Let's do it.
Fine.
And so you press on, Jonathan grumbling, but not wanting to be left alone. He has no choice but to form up back in the middle of the formation as you tap the new coordinates into your retina displays, and the second destination counter pops up. Beep, beep. 0.9 miles, 0.8, 0.7. You hike towards the mass of gnarled and tragic shapes on the horizon that were once the business district of old Sai. Now nothing more than monuments to the hubris of the corpse. Takes about an hour for you to clear the distance. 0.2 miles, 0.1. Beep, beep, beep. Destination reached blinks up on your retinal displays. Above you, the sky has grown a deep purple, the sun only barely visible, very tip of it shining over the horizon. The shadows have grown long and dark, and the sweltering heat of the wasteland has been replaced by a shocking, almost Arctic freezing cold that arrives without warning and chills your bones. Ahead of you, the ruin crumbles, Gothic towers tumble to the ground, exhausted walls yield to decay. In the debris, you spot your destination. In amongst the debris and the collapsed walls, there's a faded billboard, the letters ACGS, just barely still visible, and just beyond it, a concrete stairwell descending into the earth. All that remains of the ruined corporate headquarters. Everything above ground has been reclaimed by the wasteland and dashed apart.
Look, I know I said we can handle anything out here, but this is the definition of an unnecessary risk. I just want that to be known.
Noted. The way I sees it, you get to poke one set of corpses, we get to chase one mysterious radio signal.
I can't argue with that. I did ask you to come out here.
I do first remark, Paradigm just turns around. Welcome to Ground Zero.
That said, Paradigm, you've lasted longer on this excursion than you did on your previous one, so...
Yeah.
But you know that all it takes is one bad choice and it'll all go to shit. So, what would you guys like to do?
Hopefully not make a bad choice. But no, there's a hole going down.
Yep.
Kitty will shine her flashlight down, then pull out paracord.
Peer down into the stairwell, and it descends down about 5 feet, and then abruptly collapses. The rest of the shaft continues on for at least 10 feet more down into the darkness. With your light, you're able to see the very bottom. Dirt, debris, and mud all splattered against a thick metal door.
Alright, if we can tackle whatever is beyond it, we'll have a secure place to sleep tonight.
There's lettering on the door, peeled away from exposure to the elements, and squinting you can just make out one word remaining. Boiler.
Boiler room. She'll tie off the paracord on something that looks sturdy
Yep.
and rappel down.
About 5 meters or so outside the crumbling walls that mark the perimeter of what was once the ACGS headquarters, there's a gnarled street light half buried in the sand. You tie a loop of paracord around it and tie it tight. And then throw the other end of paracord down the stairway. It dangles down into the dark shaft. You pull it a few times. Make sure it's firm.
Cover me as I go, then follow once I'm down. If nothing tries to eat me.
Kitty
And she descends.
Alright.
Kitty descends down the paracord, and you all gather around the mouth of the stairwell, watching as she slowly descends, lower and lower and lower. Finally, she reaches the bottom and jumps off the paracord, landing with a crunch in the pile of debris in front of the boiler room door. Nothing jumps out at her.
Alright. I'll tug on the cord to make sure it's secure, then back away so the others can slide down.
Right. Anyone have any objections, or would you like to head down?
Yeah, let's go.
Jonathan just stands back and gestures graciously
After you.
to everybody. After you.
After you,
Oh, no.
indeed.
You're going first.
Yeah.
Well, I don't even want to go in there at all.
Go down there.
Oh, I hate you so much.
No, you don't. No one hates me.
So he decides that it's probably not worth the argument and descends. He's going to go down there anyway eventually.
Yeah. Jonathan just sighs, grabs hold of the paracord and lowers himself down into the shaft. His boots crunch on the remains of an old office chair right at the very bottom. Who's next?
Ghost follows straight after.
Ghost follows straight after.
The machete's out for this one.
Machete's
Close
out,
quarters.
and Jonathan's got his assault rifle raised as they watch Ghost's daintily form make its way down the paracord. And then she sighs as she climbs off and stands next to the rest of you. Behind you, something rattles from beyond the boiler room door, a metallic groan. Paradigm. You're the last one.
Yeah.
Paradigm, you grab hold of the paracord and begin to slowly lower yourself down the shaft. You get
Switching
about
my visor to night vision mode.
night vision mode, and the images of your 3 companions light up at the bottom of the shaft, looking up at you, weapons drawn, ready for action. You get about halfway down, about 20 feet, when suddenly there's another metallic groan from beyond the boiler room door, and the foundation of the collapsed office building shakes. Paradigm,
Yeah.
make me an agility acrobatics check, please.
Oh god. Oh, 22. Oh, it's a nat 20.
22.
Yeah, 20.
Yeah.
Right.
The paracord is jostled in the quake, slamming you into the sides of the shaft. Ugh. Bang! Bang! But you manage to hold firm until the rumbling passes as another great metallic groan from beyond the door, and then the shaking stops. Taking your chance, you quickly scramble down the rest of the way and are breathing heavily as you detach yourself at the bottom.
Oh, well, that wasn't fun.
So, what was that?
Something horrible.
Yeah,
Surely something
anybody
that
else
they
want to
walk
go
behind
back out the way we came?
Well,
Yeah.
I look up at the darkening sky. No time to find other shelters, the problem.
Yeah, you've committed to coming here now.
Aye.
I'm just gonna, looking at the door, I'm just gonna like cycle through like heat vision, see if like anything comes up.
Step up to the boiler door and click. Zzz, zzz, zzz. I'd like you to make me a presence investigate check, please. DR 10.
Alright. Come on. Don't really want to use my last glitch on this. That's 9.
So, you step up to the rusty, thick metal door, turn on heat, seeking vision. Your HUD lights up in bright red, and your mouth drops open as you detect a single heat signature somewhere beyond the door, vaguely human in shape and size. But then it walks behind something, and you can't see it anymore.
Okay, well apparently someone beat us here.
Did they?
Oh no, I don't think somebody beat us here.
Does
be
the
the
door
peak.
look like it's been opened anytime soon?
Look down at the door, the handle's covered in rust, and as you pull the door, look, it seems to be jammed. It's most definitely not been opened in quite some time. Could it be possible that Paradigm saw whoever sent the signal?
Seems unlikely. Is it a wheel type door? Is it a handle type door?
feeling this
Just a handle. Just a handle.
Let's pop her open just a bit and see what we can see.
Yeah.
And get grenades ready if it's something we can't handle.
Hmm.
Because this
Grab-
does look like a thick door.
You grab the door handle and... So you just want to open it a little bit, just enough to peek through.
Yep.
The door is covered in rust, and as you go to open it, you realize
Wait.
that... Yep,
Is super lube like oil?
indeed it is.
Could I use it to lube the mechanism so it
Yeah.
doesn't make noise?
Sure.
Alright, I'll
I
use
was
mine.
going to say, you notice that the doorway has been... With all of
Yeah.
the weight of the debris of the collapsed building above it, the doorway's sort of been compressed down ever so slightly, meaning that unless you were very careful, the door would probably make a great noise as it was opened. But
Effort, I've been carrying
Ooh.
the super lube
Yeah.
since the start. Yeah, I'll use it.
pull out the tube of super lube, pierce the lid, and then climb up onto Jonathan's shoulder using him as leverage so that you...
Hold still.
like some sort of futuristic WD-40, you drip it into the door hinges, and then drop down, grab hold of the doorknob, and pull. Ugh. The door lets out a metallic rumble, much quieter than it would have been had you not lubed it up first. And as you pull the door open, the top and sides scrape against the concrete door frame, but it's about as quiet as you could manage it. I will be rolling a die, however.
Ooh.
Roll
All
it
good.
on the die roller at least.
No, it's all good, it's all good.
Alright,
It was
alright.
only an 11, and I increased it to 14 because you opened the door fairly quietly.
Thank
So,
goodness super lube. Alright.
you peer through the crack in the door and into the darkness beyond. From what you can tell, it's a fairly standard boiler room. You can just make out the shape of the shape of the boiler, a big hulking industrial behemoth somewhere in the center of the room, shrouded in shadow. You can make out the shapes of shelves, boxes and debris scattered throughout. The small bit of light that's pouring in from what remains of the sun illuminates what's directly in front of the door, and you could peer to the very back of the room, and there's a whole array of metal shelves groaning with what looks like non-perishable foods. Boxes of electronics, still mostly untouched by the Wasteland. But there's no sign of movement.
So where be the Guardian?
What would you like to do?
You got the visor, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, Jonathan switches his vision visor on as well.
Begins to hum.
I could throw something in to make a distraction, and when it goes to the noise, you might see it.
Jonathan also checks the Geiger counter. How radiated is it down here?
Still within acceptable levels, but much higher than it was on the outer fringes of Ground Zero.
You know what I'm going to ask? Is there anything hackable?
Not that you could see, but you can attempt a sweep and try to ping everything that might still be online.
Ooh, would that alert anything there?
It might.
Yeah.
I'm going to hold off on that for now.
Yeah.
Alright, so what would you guys like to do?
Well,
Jonathan picks up one of the cans of perishables and kind of looks around for a good corner to kind of just lob it into.
Yep. You pull up grab a can of true beans off the shelf just beyond the door, poking your head through the crack. And you think the corner just beyond the boiler at the very back would be a good place. Whatever, if anything's in there and it comes out, you'll at least have distance. And you raise the can and toss it. Sails through the air, hits the wall behind the boiler, and loudly clatters away into the darkness. And then instantly, there's a great metallic groan from somewhere beyond the door. The foundations of the building rumble yet again. And something lumbers out of the darkness towards the can, illuminated by the thin ray of ambient light that ekes through the door. It is the rumored final fate of all nano-infected. A nanobot-infested humanoid covered in crystalline blue growth is a sight to behold. The creature stands tall and menacing, at least 8 feet or more. Its once human body now transformed by the nanobots that have taken over. Its skin is covered in shimmering, razor-sharp crystals that seem to be growing from within, giving it a surreal and otherworldly appearance. Its eyes glow with an intense blue light, and the mouth is now nothing more than a jagged opening surrounded by more crystalline growths. The arms are elongated and end in jagged crystal claws that look like they can cut through just about anything. Somewhere in this hulking mass of flesh and crystal, you can just make out a black patch attached to what would have once been its shoulder. The letters UCS gleaming in the light.
I can try something. But if it doesn't work, be prepared to fight.
Why don't we just lock the door?
Because this is where
Why do we need to go in there?
Because this is where we're sleeping tonight. And Kitty, we'll try to activate the power of friendship.
Power of friendship. Go ahead. Presence science roll.
So, difficulty 12.
Difficulty 12, as per usual.
I'll pay a glitch to knock this down to 8.
8. Good idea.
Yeah.
And with
Hey.
a 16.
16.
I-
So you are using remote control, the nano power.
Yeah?
The nanobots fly out from underneath your tricon, glimmering like little blue specks of dust in the ambient light. They silently gather around this huge, bloated humanoid. And then, whoosh, disappear into its eye sockets. Suddenly, its voice floods your mind, Kitty. Kill me! Someone kill me! For the love of God, kill me! Kill me! Kill me! And then you're in. You have control of it. It may obey.
You
It will
poor
obey a
lad.
single command, but you will always hear its voice faintly echo in your mind.
You poor lad. You shouldn't have come here. Leave this place and kill yourself. Once you're away from us.
And then you cut the connection and the screaming stops. Kill me! Kill me!
Open the door for it and stand way back. Actually, open the door for it, then rush in once we're in. Once it's out.
Yep. Hold the door open wide and the great creature lumbers towards you. Each step it takes causing the foundation of the building to rattle. You press yourselves against the wall of the shaft as it steps out, gazing down at you with its glowing blue eyes. And then once it's standing fully in the shaft, Kitty motions for you to follow her, and you all scramble inside the boiler room, pulling the door shut behind you. And as the door slams shut with a metallic clang, you hear a terrible scream from the other side. Ah! And then the sound of the bloated humanoid exploding, and then the tap 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 of shards of metal and crystal raining at the other side of the door like hailstones.
I was going to attempt to recruit him to the crew. But he was screaming inside. I had to give him final mercy. This is a dark world you giants have made. I hope you know that.
I didn't make it.
And yet you're not out of danger yet. You barely have enough time to let Kitty's words hang in the air. When suddenly you hear the sound of scrabbling movement, scratching against concrete, and then dashing out of the darkness behind the boiler come 3 large rats. At least 4 times the size of normal, each one at least the mass and weight of a large dog. Their claws drip with a noxious smelling green goo, and blue crystalline growths dot their patchy fur. Here and there, parts of their skin have peeled away, revealing the raw flesh and bone underneath. They bare their elongated fangs, chitter, and charge towards you. Kitty, go ahead, roll the d6 for me.
Oh, lad, you did not wait to be here. I just had to send a friend on to the afterlife. 3.
3.
They're going first, looks like.
I always go first. Well, you did alert them by taking out their caretaker. But at least you don't have to fight him and them at the same time.
Yeah. At least we don't have to fight him, period.
Yeah. So they come scuttling towards you, one of them straight across the dirty, cracked concrete, right towards Kitty. It rears up on its hind legs and flails its claws, dripping with noxious acid. Go ahead, Kitty, and make me a defense roll.
Well, I will do that. Yeah, it hits me. Oh, wait, that's a D6. Duh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not good.
That's still well, that's only a 10.
Yeah, I know it was a 3-part command, but I allowed it because it was 1 overall. It basically amounted to remove yourself. So, what did you get, Demi?
Yeah, it hits me.
It hits you.
I got
Alright.
a 10. I got like a 10.
So that is going to be... Let's see... 10... Its claws sear through your torso, dealing 3 points of damage.
Alright, let's see what armor has to say about that. Armor catches 2 of it, so I take 1.
And I would also like you to please roll me a d12.
Oh dear.
Ooh.
Just a D12.
Where have these rats been?
Yeah, just a d12.
So that's a 5.
That's a 5.
Oh no.
Am I going to be making a save?
Searing... Yeah, go ahead. Make a toughness check.
Okay.
It doesn't actually allow this in the stat block, but I think it's fair to allow one.
Oh, thank you. 17.
17. There's a brief searing pain just under your skin, but it quickly passes.
Arrgh.
The second rat darts past you and rears up on its hind legs before taking a pouncing leap through the air, snapping its fangs in Jonathan's direction. Jonathan, go ahead. Make a defense check for me.
Sure. Uh, 14.
14, yeah. You press yourself against the wall as it sails past you and its body slams into the boiler room door with a thump. And then the last rat rushes towards Ghost. Ghost, make me a defense check. That will be agility plus melee if you got it.
That's 19.
19. You see it coming, you just let out a great scream, turn and run behind Jonathan, wrapping your arms around him as the rat skitters in your
Pardon me?
direction.
Do you know?
Do you? What do you... You just...
Instead, I'm gonna have Ghost like shove Jonathan forward.
Yeah, shove Jonathan forward and then stand behind him as the rat runs forwards, the blue crystals gleaming in the dull light of your flashlights. Alright. Kitty, you're up first.
Yeah. I suppose I could have just told him to leave this place, but I threw in some mercy. Sorry. Rats! Rats!
3 large nano-infested rats.
Well, I've got a machete now, don't I?
You do.
And that'll be a 22 to hit it.
Yeah, that's definitely gonna hit. Roll the damage.
Well, that rat can eat 5 points of damage.
5 points, yeah. That's enough. The rat prepares to spring at you again, and you wait for it to leap off the ground, and then you rush forwards and stick the machete straight up, clearing straight through its chest. Noxious smelling goo and blood rain over you as you pull the knife away and the gutted out rat falls to the ground, its crystalline growths dispersing into glowing dust. Alright. Ghost, you're up.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the solution to all these problems is gun, so I'm gonna order fire again. And I get a 17.
17, yeah, that's enough. Go ahead, roll for damage.
2.
2. You blast the rat, blowing off its left fang as it chitters and continues scurrying towards you. Paradigm, you're up.
So there's still 2 left, aren't there?
Still 2 left.
Oh yeah, I'm still auto firing. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. You get to roll again. Yeah.
9.
9, yeah.
Ah.
Hitting the fang surprises you, and you jump with a start, changing your trajectory just ever so slightly, but enough for the rat to squeeze through your line of fire and continue its assault. Paradigm.
Woo. Should probably go gun, but instead I'm going to go chainsaw.
Chainsaw. You pull the
There's a
cord.
giggling mouth. Doom players IRL there.
I know, right?
No one rush straight towards one, roll to hit it.
Yeah.
I can't believe we have the Chainsaw Man in our party.
Wow, the Chainsaw Man. He just like me, for real, for real.
14.
14. That's a hit. Roll the damage.
Ooh. Oh. For 2 damage.
2 damage. You sear off its long tail, and the tail flops on the concrete like a worm for a few seconds before it just stops and lies inert. Jonathan, you're up. 2 rats left, one of them severely wounded thanks to Ghost and Paradigm.
Yeah, there's only 2 of them left, so he's just pulling out his revolver and taking a pot shot at the healthiest one.
Yeah, go ahead, roll to hit it.
That's a 10. That's a miss.
Yeah. Bang! Boom! Despite their size, the things are more agile than they look, and your bullet slams into the concrete behind it. The rat you fired at rushes towards you and extends its long, dripping claws. Roll defense for me, Jonathan.
Ooh, okay. Uh, 15.
15, yeah. You step backwards, bumping into Ghost, who's standing behind you, nearly knocking her off your feet, but you dodge the claw, which cuts through the air just in front of you. Go, Ghost.
Oh, fuck off, Shovey McShovison.
Oh, fuck you too.
Meanwhile, the second rat,
Shovey
the one
McShovison.
that's only missing, the one that's missing a claw and has had its tail sheared away by the chainsaw, is going to roll a morale check. Because you can't really blame it. And that's a 4, which does not beat its morale of 5. It stupidly decides to continue fighting, and it charges towards its most immediate harasser, which is, of course, Paradigm. Paradigm, go ahead, roll the budget for me.
I love this rat's like, chainsaw. I can beat a chainsaw.
Yeah.
Challenge accepted.
Look,
Sweet, sweet.
we stand a self-confident king.
No, not a rat king, though.
Yeah.
Rat king.
We stand a rat king, alright.
Start Tommy again. The 13.
13.
We need more Rat Kings in our games.
Would you like to glitch? Yeah, more Rat Kings.
Yeah.
Oh, you can
I'll go with that.
I mean, we are going to rest after this.
Yeah,
because
they do get their attack and defense rolls at DR at -2 DR. So
okay. I'll glitch and try and see if I can reroll better.
hey, let's get some of those Rat Kings going, huh?
Yeah, I think we could Rat King this place up a little bit.
What a +1.
How'd you do?
Actually, no, I just realised I rolled the wrong modifier, so it should actually be a +2, which makes it a 14.
Makes it a 14, yeah. So
Oh, there you go.
you step out of the way as the rat struggles to maintain its balance with no tail, and then you ready your weapon. Okay. Kitty, you're up first.
All right. Well, let's see. I think I'll go up to the one on Jonathan and try to whack it in the back.
Go ahead, roll to hit it.
Whack.
Well, with a 10, I'll miss.
Yeah.
Oof.
It still doesn't have it doesn't have a tail, but it's still fast, and it sees you coming, and it looks around baring its fangs, hissing.
I'll bear my own. Back at ya.
Alright, Ghost, you're up.
Gun. Shoot gun at rat.
Shoot gun at rat. Alright, go ahead, roll to hit it.
Oh, mother. That's an 8.
Yeah, the rat in front of you just chitters as it scurries underneath a piece of nearby machinery, pops out the other side with its eyes glittering bright yellow in the darkness. Paradigm, you're up. Go, Chainsaw Man.
Genji would be really like a decent cyborg character, honestly.
Yeah, he would actually.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna use my final glitch to reroll that.
Yeah, go ahead.
There we go. Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. You rip the cord as the chainsaw roars, and you step forwards, bringing it down onto the rat. Roll damage.
Another 2. God damn it.
2. He had 2 HP left. The rat shrieks in agony as the blades of the chainsaw cut through its flesh. The crystalline shards glimmer as they shatter and turn into dust, scattering to the air as the rat dies. And Jonathan, you're up. 1 rat left.
It's on full health, right?
It's on full health.
Revolver again.
Go ahead.
As rat scurries around, it seems to have dodged everything for so long.
Roll to
He's
hit
taking
it.
that as a challenge. Oh my god, it's an 8.
It's
That's
an
another
8.
miss.
You fire your revolver, and the rat seems to move with unnatural precision. As soon as it sees the muzzle flash, it darts to the side and continues scurrying towards you, and then it leaps at you, gnashing its fangs. Make a dodge check for me, Jonathan.
Dude, that's actually really motivating. You're counting the bodyguard, right?
Yes, yeah, I'm counting the bodyguard.
26.
26, yeah.
Oh, that's a natural 20.
Yeah, natural 20. That means you get a
Oh,
bonus
take
attack.
an up attack, yeah.
Yeah.
He won't take this lying down. This rat is going to end this minute.
Go ahead.
There you go, 24.
24,
Yeah.
you hit it.
Finally a hit.
As it leaps through the air towards you, you raise the revolver, basically jamming the barrel right into the rat's underside and pulling the trigger. Roll the damage.
Oh my god, 1 damage. Okay.
1 damage.
The rat lives.
The bullet
You live for now.
tears through the rat's fur and bone, and the rat screams as it falls out of midair, landing on its side. It looks at you, hissing as blood and ooze eke out of the bullet hole, and then it's going to make its morale check. The rat's eyes glimmer as it hisses one more time, and then it turns, scurrying away into the darkness. You see one more glimmer, flash of light from its crystalline growths before it disappears through a hole in the concrete wall.
Well, we can work with that.
And it is gone.
We didn't even fucking kill the rat. We didn't kill the rat.
Is the
We don't
hole
have to
too
kill
big?
everything we see, do we?
Hang on. Is the hole too big for Kitty?
Oh, you're all high and
No.
mighty now. You fucking wanted to kill that rat.
Kitty,
I
if you
saw
want to
you.
go in after it, you can.
Kitty will go in after it.
Alright.
That's it, Kitty. I know you're a cat, but this is not the time.
Kitty bears her machete. Shing! She gets down on all fours, and much like an actual cat, her tail springs up in the air in a question mark shape as she darts through the hole in the wall. Go ahead and make me an agility athletics check, please, Kitty.
Is she holding the machete in her mouth?
Yes.
Sure is.
Of course.
18.
Yeah, I was finding the whole cat robot thing kind of weird.
18.
18.
Oh, it's been weird since the minute we met.
It's getting weirder though, right? Like,
She's leaving her backpack.
You're vaguely aware of the others just staring with utter bewilderment as you dart into the hole and are surrounded by darkness. You give
Flashlight
your
in
eye,
one hand, machete in the other.
machete in one hand, flashlight in the other. You sniff the air, and your ears prick as you hear the sound of the rat scurrying footsteps. Perhaps no more than 10 feet away, and then you're gone, sprinting on all fours as fast as you can. You navigate through the winding, twisting tunnel, and ahead of you, you see the rat's eyes flashing, glimmering yellow with fear as it sees you coming. It turns to make its way down another length of tunnel, and then you tense your paws and you leap forwards, landing on top of it and pinning it under your body. The rat shrieks.
Sorry, mate, but we be sleeping here, and I'll have not have me crew nibbled on by the likes of you.
You bring the machete down, decapitating the rat in a single blow.
I
And
mean, seriously, what kind of fucking design is a pirate furry? What century is this?
so, the Doggy Bag restaurant was popular around about the time when the incident that created Ground Zero occurred. So, we're talking way back in the 2030s. Kitty may as well be out of another century. Shink! The rat's head drops off its body, and the crystalline growths begin to vibrate as they detach themselves from the rat's fur and, as if being carried on unseen legs, scuttle up your arm, Kitty, diving towards the brim of your tricorn hat, where they rest with the others of their kind. You pull the brim down tight as you bite the blade of your machete back in your mouth and return to the others, ready to tell them that this place is now rat-free. Paradigm, as you wait for Kitty to return, You lean against the old hulking boiler machine and peer down at the dead rat in front of you. You cleaved one to pieces with the chainsaw, and there's pretty much nothing left of it other than scraps of fur, bone, and flesh. But the other one, the one that Kitty killed at the beginning of the fight, it's lying there on its side, its dead glassy eyes peering towards you, and you could see the flesh under its fur bulging, shifting, as the nanobots scurry, calling out to their brethren within your body. What would you like to do?
Somewhere Ozzy Osbourne starts playing.
Yeah. With the sound of Ozzy going on, probably only in his head, I'm going to eat the rat.
You're gonna eat the rat, yeah.
Yes.
Everyone watches as you kneel down, and Ghost, Jonathan, as you see Paradigm kneel down on his knees in front of the dead rat and hear the sound of the little hole in the front of his enviro suit unzipping, you know what's about to happen. What do you do?
It's strange, but Jonathan is kind of used to this now and just goes into a corner to sit somewhere so he doesn't have to see it.
And Ghost?
Ghost is recording, but they're kind of blasé about it at this point.
Yeah, she just sighs, kicks up against the wall, and smashes a button on her cyber deck, and Paradigm's retinas glow bright red as he digs his hand into the rat's body, detaches a piece of flesh, and feeds it into his navel mouth.
Listen, man, we gotta find you some better kills. This isn't gonna sell for shit.
That rat. If you want the big bucks, it's gotta be a human being, no less.
They don't like or subscribe for less.
The mouth chews as Kitty crawls out of the hole, and then finally it swallows. It turns around and you see Paradigm's navel mouth right there on his... right there, just below his stomach. Smiling a broad smile, baring its blood-stained teeth. Satisfied with its meal. Paradigm, make me a toughness check. You may add survival if you have it.
I do not. I'll add science because it's to do with nanos.
Yeah, science, that'll do it.
Okay.
Yeah, we have a benevolent god as DM.
Yes.
Very malevolent system, so it balances out.
That was a 12.
12.
I know it's a basic check, but I don't know what it is.
You sit back, Paradigm, and you stare over at the others as they stare back at you. And as they point their flashlights in your direction, they see your flesh begin to roil and change. Boil like growths popping out on the back of your hand and your neck, and then after they vibrated for a few moments, folding back into your skin as if they were never there. As the nanos welcome their brethren, go ahead and roll a d12 for me.
Ah. 2.
2. Searing pain surges down your skin as if it's on fire. Large chunks of your skin begin to peel off your body before your eyes.
Oh shit!
The rest of your skin turns putrid, grey, and begins to slowly rot. You have become infested with infestation number 2, rot.
Oh.
You take 3 points of damage as the skin peels away, dropping to the floor with a squelch.
Jonathan, be there nothing you can do. He's falling apart.
So it's the same advice they give anyone who does something stupid. Don't do it in the first place. What am I meant to do? Graft it back on with hopes and dreams?
You're the one who went roping corpses.
One last
Use the
chunk.
power of friendship.
Power of friendship.
Whatever the fuck.
Don't mock what you don't understand.
One last chunk drops off Paradigm's palm, and then finally, thankfully, the infestation stabilizes. Paradigm hisses in pain. Oh! But he's okay for now.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll a d12 to see what nanopower you get.
Okay.
And go ahead, Ghost.
As this is all happening, Ghost's just absent-mindedly tapping away at their keyboard, organizing some old files, not fully paying attention.
Yeah.
And they just sort of absent-mindedly say aloud, "Does anyone feel like we've been here before with the whole eating rats thing? Does anyone feel like this we've done this?"
8 is to dust again.
The dust. Go ahead, re-roll.
Ooh.
No one? Just me?
Huh?
I mean, the bat went down pretty easily. This one looked like it had some fight in it.
You peer up from your cyber deck, Ghost, and Paradigm looks in your direction and he smiles. His left cheek is missing, and there's just flesh underneath.
Okay. Nope, I've got 5 as well. God damn.
Roll again. Re-roll until you get one you don't have.
Nope. What I started with.
Eventually you'll get one.
Hopefully. 12.
12!
Ah, yes, I was
Swarm
hoping I'd
trip.
get this one eventually.
Your mind is transferred to a flying swarm of bacteria for 10 minutes. You can move through any crack or hole and you can see whatever the swarm sees, but not hear or interact with anything. If your body is killed, or if you're not back at your body when the 10 minutes are up, you are stuck in the bacteria forever.
Yep.
And with that, our session ends. As you bed down for the night in the old boiler room underneath what was once the ACGS corporate headquarters. You've spent
We will,
today,
of course, be looting the place.
You will, of course, be looting the place, and I'll get to that in a moment.
Cool.
You've spent a day in Ground Zero, and it's certainly been one of the more eventful days of your career so far, but free of rats, with a roof over your head, you're able to rest safe in the knowledge that you're not out there. And when the sun rises and you step out, crawl up the shaft, and are once again buffeted by the searing, irradiated sun, it'll just be a short walk to your destination. To the black site, interred deep in the earth, where Jonathan's cachet awaits. So, it's like everyone to go ahead to roll to see if they need to reload, and you each recover D6 HP, and you may also roll to recover your glitches.
Add another D4 to that as Kitty doles out the daily dose of doggy bag.
Yep, so I will roll that D4 right now, and everyone will get the same amount.
Cool.
So that is an additional 2 hit points to whatever you roll on your D6.
Cool. And is rot also the infestation linked with...
Yeah, that's the one that's linked with your dust swarm.
Fire.
And so,
know why that keeps happening. I think it's something to do with the nanos.
So 1d6 plus an additional 2. Roll for glitches. And then I would like each of you to roll a d6 for me when you're done with that. We'll see what you loot.
All right. So
That's
roll
a
for
3.
glitches.
Oh, we've got 3s.
Nice.
3, Kitty, and Paradigm.
Hey, 4 glitches. Back to full. Though I had one temporary one that I used earlier. So I got a 5 on the d6.
5 on the d6.
For what it's worth.
Paradigm.
What was it?
Just roll a d6, yep.
Yep. 6. A 5.
5. What did you get, Demi? Was it also a 5, I believe?
It was also a 5.
Yep. Alright, so, first of all, Jonathan, as you pull the sleeping bag out of your pack and unroll it, you brush away some old magazines and pieces of paper off the floor to clear space. And you smile as the one that's left behind looks up at you. A grinning image of a smiling cartoon taxi. It's a promotional voucher. 1 free taxi ride.
Oh, well, I suppose we didn't come all the way out here for nothing, did we?
Ghost.
Yeah,
You
good
rolled
deal.
Free taxi ride.
If only we had
Hopefully
access
the company
to
is still in
taxis.
service.
Ghost.
It'll make getting out of here easier.
You'll like
Yes, Mellow.
this. As you clear away, some of the debris, lay out your sleeping bag in the shade of one of the shelves, you find a small leather pouch, and your curiosity gets the better of you. You draw the string open, tip it upside down, and 3 doses of unmarked drugs in hypodermic needles drop out into your lap.
Hello.
Don't do drugs, kiddies.
Can I make heads or tails of him?
Yeah, if you make a knowledge medicine check, you can try to identify them.
Unmarked drugs. Good.
That's
drugs too.
18.
18. Yeah. Yeah. You glance over at Jonathan and you smile cheekily. You want to keep these to yourself. You identify the first one. It's Adrenochrome HST. It heals D6
Nice.
HP, +1 on all abilities for D6 rounds, and then -1 until rest. The second drug is a single dose of O-Sleep. Removes the need to sleep and rest and the negative effects of not doing so. But if you use it for up to 2 days at a time, you're going to test toughness or fall unconscious. And the third, a thick, viscous grey liquid, is Blackout. This is one you don't want to inject into yourself, Ghost. Whoever consumes Blackout must test toughness DR14 or take D6 damage and become blinded for 1 hour.
Oh, Jesus, okay.
Paradigm, you rolled a 5.
Yep.
So you find... Let's hope it's not another shiv.
Yeah. Ah, goddamn shivs everywhere.
My face when there's too many shivs.
Shivs in the pockets of everyone in old side, there's shivs in the pockets of everyone in new side.
Thank you very much.
It's just really annoying when it just keeps happening.
So you, Paradigm, find a folded up scrap of paper underneath your sleeping bag. And as everyone begins to settle in for the night, you unfold it and peer at whatever it holds. And it contains an address. An address in the slums of Psy, outside of Ground Zero, or a fetish club. It simply reads sleepinggirls.com. There's a picture of a bed on it.
Okay.
And what did you get, Demi? It was also a 5, yeah?
It was also a 5.
Demi, you find a dive bar matchbox in amongst your pile of debris. The label on it has faded long ago, but there's something rattling around inside. Your eyes glimmer at the prospect of treasure. You open the matchbox, and it's full of teeth. Teeth from at least 4 different people, based on the fact that there's at least 4 different molars.
Well, goodness. This could come in handy.
But then,
Okay.
before you head to bed for the night, you rifle through the boxes of old electronics and non-perishable foods. And you find let me roll a dice here.
Yeah.
Altogether, a surprisingly large amount of intact electronics, miscellaneous circuit boards, CPUs, transistors, capacitors. 3 inventory slots worth of random electronics, each being worth at least a couple hundred creds on the streets, possibly more depending on who you'd sell it to. All up, you're looking at the least 600 creds.
Ooh.
Shared loot. We should divvy it out so if anyone gets downed, we'll have something.
Good idea.
Well, that's not.
So,
3 doesn't go into 4 very easily, but
No, it doesn't. But 600 credits does.
alright,
but-
so 150 credits worth of electronics that eat up space apiece.
Yep. So you want to divvy it up, divide the piles up in half. You each carry well, pick who's going to carry each of the 3 slots, and then when you sell them, you get 150 creds each.
I'll take one of the slots if that's alright.
So it's
I got a backpack.
Yeah.
So each one is 3 slots.
Well, no, there's
Or
three
it's-
3 slots total,
3 slots
and each
worth.
slot's worth about 200 apiece.
Okay, yeah, because I was gonna say I can take 1, and that's my limit.
Yeah, and then
I've
who's
got a
gonna-
backpack. I'll take one.
Yep.
I'm down a... Yep.
So Kitty
I'm
shoves
down
one
to
in her.
Super Lube.
Kitty shoves one in her backpack and one in her other pack, and then Paradigm grabs the final box of electronics off the shelf, shrugs, and looks forward to trying to hawk this stuff on the streets once you get back to Psy. A day in Ground Zero, and this is all you have to show for it. As you slide into your sleeping bag, you exchange a glare at Jonathan. This cachet of yours better have more than a couple hundred creds worth of computer chips. And that's it. We'll be back next week for the next installment of this mission, Lazarus Labs. You think you've seen horrors today in Ground Zero? Just you wait and see what lies beneath. Quite a vacation, eh, punks?